Last song of the day. For the ladies. Oh yes, I love her like. 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 Let me tell you how I love her. KID, let's go. Oh yes, I love her like a rainy day. I'm sorry fellas, hate to say, but man, yeah, she keep me sane. Not like a video game, I ain't trying to control her. Warm her up like a blanket, that's only when I hold her. Man, she not a smoker, keep it hot just like some Folgers. And when she cry, I console her. Not a model, not a poser, I can bring her anywhere, even take her to the studio. Hold her hands to the park, but she wanna watch a movie though. Yeah, so we roll back to the crib, pop in the DVD. When she get bored with the movie, turn on the MP3. But she wanna pay that $2K, she too funny. Her favorite rapper is 2 Chainz. She my Kelly Rowland, she my blue thing. Me and her keep it tight just like some shoestrings. True thing is she got me feeling right. She never fuss and never fight. I guess I'm on a little win because oh yes I love her like. 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 Oh yes I love her like.
All I want is you, all I need is you. Remember those days back at school when it used to be just me and you. I'm in class, you're the only thing running through my mind. I remember I used to write about you in my notebook all the time. And it ain't ordinary the way I felt about you. It was extraordinary. I can honestly say you were more than true passion. Now I'm thinking about my past and everything we did, about everything I said back then. You was a true friend. And I know it's not sound crazy when I say this, but I love you like a sister to his brother, a child to his mother. I really do care, and you was always there for me. You're such a beautiful thing, and everybody wants you, but I'm doing this from the heart, not for what you can give me. And I remember when I met you, I was chilling with the crew, rolling down that avenue. It was on a Sunday afternoon, and we stopped at the park to have a barbecue. And I remember I walked past you and saw you at the corner of my eye. The next thing I knew, I was hypnotized. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, oh yes, I love her like.
She's a dime, now she's worth $1 million. Always thinking about her. Yep, I caught some feelings. We talk all day. Yes, she's definitely $1 million. At first when we talked to each other from the start, we called each other Boo. Then Boo went to Bae, and now we dating A. Yesterday we kicked, it was the best. I got so nervous, my heart almost came out my chest. These feelings I have for her are unexplainable. She's cool, she's chill. I hope she feels the same for me when I get a text from her. I'll start teasing like a kid in the candy store that always wants to go back for more. Yeah. She's the one that I have the feeling that I just know it. Big D in the same, just to let you know that. Yo, I guess I love her like. Oh yes, 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 I love her like.
Oh yes, I love her like.
Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I
love her like.
Oh yes, I love her like.
Oh yes, I love her like. Oh yes, I
love her like.
Oh yes, I love her like.
Oh yes, I love her like.
Oh yes, I
love her like.
Oh yes, I love her like.
Oh yes, you know I love her like.
Bow.
Sick Music, Fly Maintenance Entertainment. It's your boy Big D.
It's your boy KID.
Boy Relentless.
And we putting it down. Be on lookout for the mixtape. Kid Mitch's mixtape.
Bow.
Relentless's mixtape.
Going somewhere.
And Big D the mixtape, Volume 1, The Takeover.
You already know.
Get it, got it, good. Y'all already know.
Bow. Going somewhere.
Matter of fact, we gonna come out with a mixtape ourselves.
Bow.
Bow.
CMD, we smoking that weed. No, I'm joking. Definitely joking.